tardes. Good evening.
Marta, comences tu.
Aquí Ernesto Valverde, Marta Carreras, de Catalunya Ràdio.
I wanted to ask you about something. I don't know how you see this, but Barca scores very easily, but at Champions and away, especially the previous league, if you think about last year, the last two ties they didn't score, what's going on with Barca? How can we solve that?
Well, those are the stats that we have. And it gives you an idea of the difficulty of this competition. It's the same for us and for the opponents. It's difficult to score away from home. And the same goes for tomorrow. We need to make sure we score tomorrow, that's the aim. But we know the rival that we have in front of us, the opponent, which is Chelsea. Very physical team, defend very well. They've also got players that can surprise you on the counter-attack. Tomorrow's another day, another story. We're back in the Champions League, and we want to get through, that's the aim.
Bona tarda, Ernesto. Aquí, Marta Ramon, de RAC1.
Thinking about tomorrow, in this demanding field, what do you think Paulinho can give you tomorrow in front of Chelsea?
We know very well what each player can give us. What we've seen in the case of Paulinho is what we've seen before. I don't know if he's going to play tomorrow or not. We'll just have to wait and see. There's no surprises.
How are you conditioned in terms of thinking about the game, Chelsea's style of play, especially these people in the center and these two wingers?
Chelsea have a very unique style of football, of course. They know their game. The English style of football is very unique. It's a physical style of football, but they play good football as well. And we, like ourselves, have our own style of play, but we'll have to wait and see tomorrow how they compare. It's different playing Chelsea to other teams because of their formation. But Girona in La Liga, for example, played with a similar system, so we played against it before. So we always go into a game knowing the style of play of our opponents, and that's the same for tomorrow. We asked Rakitic about Messi. He said he's never seen him working so hard before. How do you think Leo Messi's going into this game, having missed that penalty against Chelsea in the last game in 2012? I don't know. I don't know if he's thinking about this or not. Obviously, we know it's a huge tie. It's very important for everyone, for us, for Leo, for the team. We play for Barcelona. It's going to be difficult because we know the opponent that Chelsea is very strong. And we know Leo hasn't had much luck against Chelsea in the past, but tomorrow's a different game. We have to move on.
The Premier League, the Premier League teams so far in the Champions League, Manchester City, Spurs, Liverpool, have all done very well, and we're in England very excited that an English team might win the Premier League this season. What do you think of the Premier League, and does that make your task against the Premier League champions even harder tomorrow?
It's clear that the English teams this year are in incredible form, much better than in previous years. Chelsea might be the same. And we know that because the English have such a strong league, that they're all going to be up there competing. Obviously, we saw the results last week. Liverpool winning 5-0. Huge wins. City are playing incredibly this year. And we obviously wish Chelsea were first in their group so we didn't have to play them, but that's the way it is. We're talking about the current Premier League champions, Chelsea. Very strong team. And they're here on merit, and we'll look forward to playing. When you drew Chelsea in the draw, were you happy? Were you sad? Do you think this is now the worst moment to play Chelsea because they've improved so much in the last couple of weeks? Any moment's bad to play Chelsea, I think. Because they have the same qualities that they had last year. They may not have had the best season so far, but they're still so strong. But they're getting better they've been better in the last few games where they've got 2 wins in a row. With Hazard and Morata, they've got, and Pedro and Willian as well, they've got real quality up front. And they play quite a specific style of football with 3 at the back. And they've got very good tactics with the coach as well.
Hello. Barcelona has such incredible history with Chelsea. Do you think that can inspire the Barcelona players tomorrow night, and you know, particularly with 2012 particularly fresh in the mind, would that be an inspiration for your players, do you feel?
Hombre, desde luego, los antecedentes cuentan en cierta medida.
Of course, previous games do count. You have to look at them. But it has little to do with what's going to happen tomorrow in reality. The key players change from time to time since the last game. Obviously Messi and Iniesta and people are still there, but and there's a little bit of a rivalry between the two teams, taking into account previous matches, which is a good thing, which makes it maybe more of a spectacle, more excitement about it. But for us, and yes, it is a game that makes us very excited, but it's just another game in the Champions League. Obviously, you struggled a bit last year against PSG and Juve. I know you weren't the manager there, but do you think the team has improved a lot this year and have got a better chance of going through in the Champions League? Truth is, we've had a lot of games in quick succession, and it's not easy. And obviously, I can't speak about the experience with the team last season because I wasn't there. And in every team, every player always goes into a match thinking about that game in hand and not about previous matches. And last year it was obvious that the team had a couple of bad results against PSG and Juve, of course. But we came back against PSG in particular, and we know what we have to do this year. And we know that Chelsea have a lot of power, just like PSG and Juve. And they can make us they can cause us a lot of damage, of course, if we don't play well. But it's something that I'm sure my players have learned from last year. They've learned their lessons from last season and will look to rectify this season. What different characteristics do Paulinho and Andre Gomes have, and who do you think will start? They're obviously quite different players. Paulino and Andre. Andre is a player that can maybe play in more positions, perhaps, on the wing or inside. And Paulino is more of a box-to-box midfielder who likes to arrive in the box and score goals. We'll go into the game with a lot of ambition and because we want to win, so both players work hard, and we'll see who I choose tomorrow. I want to speak to you about that famous game where Iniesta scored against Chelsea. And there was the controversial refereeing performance. I've got no interest in speaking about this. I was a lot younger, so I don't remember. I want to speak about Yerry Mina. How is he developing? Does he have a type of an opportunity to play tomorrow? He's trained very well, Yerry Mina. He's started well. He's got some minutes on the pitch recently. But it's difficult to get into a team like ours with the players that we have. But everyone's getting on very well with him. He's adapted to the team well. We know tomorrow's going to be a very physical game, but we'll just have to wait and see. Dembele didn't play against Eibar. Does that mean he might play tomorrow? Yes, of course, everyone's prepared to play. People keep asking us who's going to play, is one going to play or the other? We'll just have to wait and see. Chelsea is an English team, but trained by an Italian. What do you think is the football of Antonio Conte? He is one of the best managers in the world, with a great record. Not only that he showed in Chelsea, but how he did previously with Juventus and the Italian national team. And you can see the quality of his coaching in the teams that he coaches. He's got the classic Italian methods, very strong defence, who can counter at any moment. So it's a team that's very clearly run by him. Are you expecting a game that's similar or not to Eibar because they pressed you so high? But obviously Chelsea have a lot more quality up front that can cause more damage to you. Do you think Eibar was a good test for this? Yes, it was a good test, I guess, because Eibar pressed us very high for the whole game. But it's obviously going to be different tomorrow. It's obvious that if some of the Chelsea players get space tomorrow, with space ahead of them to run into, one-on-one, they've got players who can change the game, so we've got to take care. The other day you said you'd prefer to play against Eibar on the Friday, just like when Chelsea played, but you played a day after. Are the team now physically prepared, or are they physically tired after the last day rest? No, we're prepared. Obviously, we're happy because we won. We played well in a number of areas. We've managed to keep the distance between the teams chasing us in the league. And so we're happy that we managed to win the game, and we're not worried about physical conditions now.
Gracias. Thank you.